Hello, forward thinkers, and welcome to another episode of Expats Unpacked. Today we have Maria Sibirtseva with us. She's the head of content marketing at Depositphotos and VistaCreate. She is a bold community builder who carved a multifaceted career across journalism, tech, and event curation. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify and at fastforward.com.cy. Maria, it's such an honor having you with us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
So, I know you're originally from Ukraine. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your journey to Cyprus? What brought you here?
Okay, so we're starting on a sad note. Yeah, so I came to Cyprus obviously because of war 3 years ago. Um, when the first war started, I was in Kiev for a couple of days, and then our company offered us an opportunity to relocate to one of the locations where we have offices. And Cyprus seemed for me such a nice place because of weather, first of all.
Okay.
Because we had other options like Berlin or Warsaw, and I'm like, yeah, it's the same weather as in Kiev, so I need to try something new. And yeah, that's how I came to Cyprus, and I actually came in all this winter clothes, in the fur coat, and in the fur boots and stuff. And I'm like coming here, and it's 25 degrees, and I'm like, okay,
Let's go shopping.
let's go shopping. I will not need any of this here, yeah.
Are you happy with that decision, or do you wish you went to Berlin?
Oh no, I'm so happy now. It wasn't like this for the first maybe year, but then I really blended with this lifestyle, and I think I enjoy being in Cyprus now a lot.
Okay, so I assume it was a bit of a cultural shock
Hmm.
between Kiev and Cyprus. What's your favorite thing about the Cyprus culture and how people do business here, or the lifestyle compared to, Northern Europe?
I think I've never had such a work-life balance before. When I was in Kiev and I lived in London for a couple of years, and these are cities like Kiev is 5 million people, in London is obviously much more, and you spend so much time commuting, and you have such a huge traffic jams that in Kiev I was going for 1 hour and a half to the office in the morning. Then obviously I work until 7, for example, and it's the peak traffic jams, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going anywhere, so I stay at the office until 9, and
Oh
then I
my God.
go home so I to avoid all this traffic. And it was like this all year round, because actually like I spent so much time commuting, and I've been like getting more and more exhausted because I stayed so long at work, and I had like to spend a lot of time traveling. And here I really enjoy that 15-20 minutes you just go
And we
anywhere.
complain about the traffic.
Yeah. But I'm becoming like half, not half Cypriot, it's not too correct say, but I have this mentality now as well. I'm like, 30 minutes, why so long? Like, I
When you
don't,
get used to it,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't have the time, but actually, like, I used to travel for 1 hour and a half even to go to Nicosia. It's the same as to go across the city in Kiev.
Wow. So now I feel less guilty bringing you to
Yeah,
Nicosia
no,
for
that's
this.
totally fine to go for 1 hour. It's quick.
Um, what I really appreciate about you, you have a C-level position at a company, you run, two brands, Deposit Photos, VistaPrint, and you still find time to engage with the local community and give back. And of course, I'm talking about Fuckup Nights Limassol, which you co-founded, and it's all about storytelling and learning from our mistakes. So, how did you decide to bring this to Cyprus? How did you get the rights to use the name? Because I know
Hmm.
it's like a franchise or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit how that came about?
So it's a funny story. I was thinking about that yesterday, preparing for the interview, and like in 2023, I had around 20 presentations at different European events, online webinars, everything, and I was like so overwhelmed with that by the end of the year I decided that I will take a break, and I will not do any like public speaking or stuff, just like enjoying my work, enjoying Cyprus and things like that. And uh, I had this commitment for 3 days. And then I got a message in LinkedIn from the organizers of Fuckup Nights Almaty in Kazakhstan. And they're like, Maria, do you want to come to Kazakhstan and share your failure stories? I'm like, 10 hours of travel, 2 weeks to
What a
prepare.
compliment. Come share your failure stories.
2 weeks to prepare and come there. Oh, yeah, okay, I will do that. So I didn't keep my commitment at all. And in the beginning of the year, I went to Kazakhstan to speak at Fuckup Nights Almaty. And I had a conversation with the organizers, and they're like, yeah, it's so easy to bring the franchise. You just like reach out to them and then you buy it, and that's it. So I thought that it's a very good occasion to bring it to Cyprus because first of all, the Fuck Up Nights headquarters, they provide you with a lot of help in terms of like how to organize events, how to search for speakers, how to look for sponsors, all that stuff. But also I noticed that you don't have anything like this in Cyprus. And I also felt like Cyprus community is um, ready for that
Mhm.
because I've been speaking to many people like Panis, from Panis Media or other people from Tech Island and Women in Tech, and they were like, "Oh, okay, so we know and we wanted to bring the franchise a couple of years ago because it's actually like more than 10 years old, but we didn't feel safe to bring it to Cyprus."
Because of the name.
Yeah, no, because of the name, because of the community, like is quite traditional, and people might not be ready to discuss failures so openly. And now, during the last 2, 3 years, Cyprus has become so international with so many expats coming that I think that it has become even more relaxed,
Mhm.
somewhere structured, but in terms of views and maybe mindsets, it's become more open to this kind of conversations, and this is what I feel is the right time to have them
Yeah.
because everyone's ready. Yeah.
And it's been very successful. I know that every event you have more and more people and
Yeah.
more interest. And you always have a good mixture of expat speakers, local speakers. So, it's very important work to listen to how people overcome their failures and learn from their mistakes. Would you mind sharing with us one of your favorite stories that you've heard at Fuck Up Nights Limassol?
Yeah, I think it's Elena Krutova. You've been to the Fuck Up Nights in December and probably have heard her story as well. I mean, all the stories are great, and you hear so many unexpected things about people. So, for example, Steliana Slambru, he was a speaker at the second edition, and he was telling stories how he was selling sausages or serving food because he forgot to book the food truck.
Oh my God.
And he didn't attend the event because he had to do the stuff by himself. And you were like, oh my God, because it looks like everything goes so well with them, but
Mhm.
you hear what's happening at the background and it's so much fun. But Yelena's story was so relatable to me personally because she was sharing insights about how she was building the career and scaling so fast, and then at some point she felt that she has burnt out, and she started doing this like things that like putting patches that doesn't that don't help, like I don't know, buying a colorful expensive car, going on
Mm.
vacation, buying a dog, but then like it didn't help her,
Yeah,
and
like
she's like,
dopamine addiction.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and she's like, okay, I have to do something differently, and then she realized that she has to build her um, lifestyle from scratch and start like uh, different relations with work, with herself, understand that failures are also part of the journey. And I think it's very important, the narrative that she had. It's like super relatable to everyone.
Yeah, and it humanizes people
Yeah,
because we see all these successful people and we think that it just happens for them. But no, I think what makes them successful is that they can recover from failure, they can
yeah,
learn from failure. And I think there's so much more to learn from how people get up when they fall than from, how they keep growing. So that's certainly inspiring. What's your fuck up story?
oh. I've been sharing this a lot. One of the stories that really changed my approach to things is when nobody came to my public talk.
Oh my God, that's devastating.
Yeah, but it's like, the lesson when
Thought you were gonna say nobody came to my birthday party.
Yeah, it's something
It
like
felt like
this.
that, right?
Yeah, because I was like, okay, so I've been doing public speaking for a couple of years and it's been successful. I've been to the audiences like 300, 500 people, and I don't have to make any promo. Everyone knows me. And then I'm like, okay, I will just come and speak and I don't have to prepare. And the time comes, and it actually was quite a big conference in Europe. And I come to the stage, and my speech was at 3 p.m. And it's 3:05, nobody's there. 3:10, nobody's there. And our event manager, she's saying like, so Maria, I will start grabbing people who's like just passing along, and even if we have one person, you have to speak. And then during the speech, people were hearing it, and then came. And they came, but I failed with the promotion and with the self-confidence so much that it was a huge lesson for myself.
Because it could have discouraged you, and then you could
Yeah.
have be fearful of ever speaking again. But here you are organizing events, you know,
Yeah.
and people show up. Thank God. Imagine if
Yeah,
nobody showed up
yeah,
at
yeah.
Fuckup
That's my
Nights.
fear actually. Yeah, that every time and like and you know, local community are usually buying tickets and deciding everything last minute.
Yes, in
So it
Cyprus,
goes
yes.
like very, very slow and then like and every time I'm so stressed, like, oh my God, I will have an event with no people coming.
No, I think that'll never happen again. Not in Cyprus. Um, so, I would like to ask you a little bit about what are your hopes for the Cyprus professional ecosystem besides Fuck Up Nights? What else do you want to see being organized in Cyprus? What kind of events would you envision
Mhm.
here?
I think we're doing a lot with Fuck Up Nights. What I'd like to see in Cyprus evolving is, for example, more relaxed events where you
Mm.
don't have to come, like, I don't know, in a suit or in some formal clothes, and you can swear if you want. And do stuff that you want, and this is actually what we're doing. And another thing is that when I just came here, I noticed that a lot of events are happening like with separated communities. So you have like Cypriot
Mm.
Greek speaking community, you have like Russian Ukrainian speaking community, international, a bit of international community, but mostly like we are all divided because we found our like safe spots and we are in communication with them. But I realized that, and because I've lived abroad for a while, and I see from my experience that the most interesting things they happen in the intersection of different cultures, and this is what we're trying to do. That's why, like, we have Cypriot speakers, we have like I don't know speakers from Italy, France, the UK, Ukraine, Russia, from all over the countries who are based in Cyprus, obviously, to create this unique blend of experiences. Because a lot of people also they came to Cyprus not so long time ago, and they can share their expertise from like different cultures from abroad, from their backgrounds, which are really interesting. And you know, the funny thing is that it works, and people want this because. At the first events I was like pushing my friends to help me like promote the event, and I'm like, okay, bring your friends, bring your crowd. And then at one of the last events, my friend who is from Ukraine, she came and she's like, why do you want like Ukrainians or someone? You have like 50% Cypriots. How did you achieve it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm friends with Cypriots and they come to our event. So actually, I think we have now this blend like 40% of the Russian speaking community, 40% of Cypriot and Greek speaking community, and then the 10 is like 20 of different other cultures.
Yeah, I think it took us some time to get there, but
Mm.
I see this shift in Cyprus that we're finally learning to engage with each other, the expats, the locals.
Yeah, and actually, you know, the interesting part is that now we are planning a lot of collaborations for this year with Fuckup Nights and in general with what I do. And most of them are with the locals or with international people. It's not like we're sticking to our like to Ukrainians or someone. No, it's like all this blend of collaborations, interesting perspectives, and I love it.
Wow. So we talked about this a little bit, but how do you source the people? How do you
Mhm.
find the right speaker that's going to be motivational, that's going to bring value to your event?
Very complex question, to be honest. But I think that my public speaking experience helps a lot, and that's why it's easier for me because I know how to see who's gonna be a good speaker. I know how to see a good story because I also have like a journalistic background, and it's easy for me to help them build a nice storytelling. So basically, the main criteria are, first of all, to have public speaking experience, because our event is a bit different. So if you come to some more like business oriented event or some conference, you really need to speak about like your work and like numbers, maybe some findings, something else. And it's easier because like you don't have to share
Mhm.
vulnerable stuff, you don't have to
Yeah,
be authentic, you just like speak by the book and
it's a
that's it.
presentation.
It's a presentation, yeah. But uh, at our events, people should be so confident on stage and in front of the crowd so they can be vulnerable, they can make jokes, they can embarrass themselves. And yeah, this is one of the most important criteria for us. Secondly, who we want to see as part of our speakers is people who have built an impressive career, because the most interesting part is to hear how these leaders have fallen
Hmm.
and then how
So
they,
the more successful the person, the
yeah,
more interesting the
yeah,
failure. Yeah.
yeah. So we're looking for people who are at level positions, who have built something of their own, so they can share like this scale as well. And I think also is important what we just discussed with you, to have a blend. So I always aim to have both men and women during the event, and different cultures and backgrounds. So it's not the same. We had an idea to be it's like all around marketing, for example, or business, but people want to uh, see the perspective from different
Industries.
industries
Yeah.
as well, yeah. And that's why we have somebody's from hospitality, somebody's from IT companies, somebody's from events, and all this mix.
And by the way, it not only you get a lot of value from these stories, but your events are excellent networking opportunities because
Oh,
they're
thanks.
casual. People have a drink, they eat, and it fosters a very good networking experience that doesn't feel intimidating like some of the more formal conferences.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, all right, I'm gonna move to some fast questions to get to know you a little bit better. I want you to tell me your most unexpected lesson from your time in Cyprus.
Oh my god. I think is siga siga.
Siga, siga. Take it easy.
Yeah, like slowly, slowly. I think that for me it's been the most challenging but the most unexpected part, because I'm used to rushing a lot and to make things like tick, 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 and
Mhm.
here everyone's like, ah, relax,
On
like,
Monday, they tell you what's your availability next week.
yeah, 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 yeah.
If it's already the week, there's no way we're booking a meeting.
Yeah, or you start planning really in advance, like some in a couple of weeks or a couple of months ahead. Yeah, and I learned to not rush so much, to start preparing a little bit more in advance, to give more space to opportunities to happen, and to learn to feel more joy during what I'm
Hmm.
doing, to take breaks. And this is really great. And for me, it was unexpected, because when I came here, I was thinking that I will just integrate as I am and keep what I'm doing. But
You have to adjust.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to adjust. Yeah.
What's your advice to an expat who's gonna come to Cyprus um, now?
Enjoy your time. I think, I don't know, when I came, I told you, I was like so stressed about everything moving slowly. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's so great. I have weekends just for me. I can go to the sea in the morning before work. You can work in a beautiful cafe on the sun. So it's amazing. You can have more joy with your everyday things in Cyprus. And I don't know, the food is so great, everything is so great.
Good to hear, and I'm so jealous that you can go to the beach before work. I don't know if I could ever do that. Do you wake up early?
I live just in front of the beach,
Uh,
so yeah.
well, we don't have that in
Yeah,
Nicosia.
come to Limassol.
I should. I'm thinking about it. I want you to tell me a book, a podcast, a talk, something that shaped your mindset that maybe our audience can
Mhm.
learn from.
So one of the last books I read was The Daring Greatly by Brené Brown, and it's about the power of vulnerability and the power of being authentic. And I think this is also a very nice intersection with the theme of Fuckup Nights. And it shifted my mindset in many ways. First of all, like regarding the fact that all people fail, all people have their problems, issues, whatever. And uh, when you're afraid to fail or you're afraid to feel pain or some negative emotions, it's gonna happen inevitably. So why prepare for something bad when you can just enjoy life and the bad will happen anyway?
I know. It's a anticipating
Yeah.
fear or pain, it's worse than actually
Yeah, you
living
spend
it.
so much energy on that, and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. I should just enjoy, and because like we don't have so much positive emotions in everyday life unless you pay attention to that and
Hmm.
you highlight for yourself the good things that are happening, and for failures you have fuck up nights.
Which is still fun.
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, that was inspiring. Do you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to mention? Upcoming projects?
Uh, yeah, of course. So we're planning a lot of great integrations with other events for Fuck Up Nights, and I think it's gonna be more exposure, and we're gonna influence the Cyprus culture and ecosystem with the power of failure even more.
The power of
Yeah.
failure. I love that.
And I want to invite all people to join our movement and to um, have less pressure on yourself and to be more open to the world, to the community. And I think with this, great things will come for sure.
Yeah, I think anyone that's watching this should come to one of these events and live that experience, and maybe in the future even talk at one of your
Yeah,
events.
yeah, of
Well,
course.
thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining me
Pavlos.
today. And thank you for watching this episode of Expats Unpacked. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify and at fastforward.com.cy. You can also check out our other podcasts, Urban Canvas and Breakpoint with Michael Dirimos. Until next time, take care and keep inspiring.